I hope you've been having a wonderful, delightful May, and that you've just been doing well. How are you? Like, seriously, how are you? I just want to check in with you before we get started today because I know I've been MIA and it's been a roller coaster. A roller coaster for me. And it's been a good roller coaster. I love roller coasters. But roller coasters can be, if you do them over and over and over again, of course, I do like roller coasters a lot, so I don't know. But eventually, you probably will get worn out of it, and your head might get like all disoriented and stuff. So for me, this month has been wow, just wow. If you don't know, I have been planning a retreat for actors for over a year, and we finally had it happen May 1st through 7th, so the beginning of this month, and it was incredible. Like, the feedback that I got from it was just everything that I hoped for. And even though we lost our chef, which is okay, she had a lot of things going on and she became a Michelin chef and all these things, and I had to take over those duties. But the cool thing is I went to school for that. That's something that I did go to school for, was culinary arts. It wasn't a long time, but I did study under chefs and I learned a lot, and I put those skills to good use. And I produced a short film for all of our actors there, so they're going to get their IMDb credit. They got the on-set experience. We got to shoot with a red camera, and it was just so incredibly amazing. And from the bottom of my heart, I am just so grateful for everybody who showed up, put in their top 110, 30, 20, 5, 50 millionth percent into this. And I'm so freaking proud of what we accomplished. And we learned the business. We learned how to protect ourselves, which is what I want to talk about with you today. But first, before we get started, I wanted to say thank you really quick. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for being here with me and listen to me gab. Uh, Sometimes I get caught in my tangents, but I'm glad that you're here with me. And if there's anything you ever want me to talk about, or if there's a certain video that you want to see, please don't hesitate to drop me a line. I love feedback and I love getting ideas and what you guys need, because if I don't know specifically what you want me to talk about, I'm just going to throw it out there like I'm doing today, and hopefully it sticks. But if there's something in particular, I know that sometimes, for me anyway, there's something on my mind that nobody's answered, and if I can answer it for you, please just reach out, because if I can do that, I'd be happy to. It would delight me more than you know. So that's that. And speaking of the business side of things, that brings me to today. So I wrote a blog. You can check it out on my website at simplyshannonscott.com, but I'm going to talk about it here. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on this contract in perpetuity stock footage stuff. So I had to turn down a job recently, and although the extra income would have been delightful, because who doesn't want some extra income, I had to really reflect and think about the future. And since I am in this for the long haul and not just, I'm not just dabbling in it for fun, I really want to make a career out of what I do, what I love, in voiceovers, acting, modeling, all the things, performance. I decided that I really needed to start looking into what I sign and what I do as a business. And if you know me, you know I've been preaching, treat yourself as a business, because you are your business. And that's 100%. I firmly believe that. And after our retreat, we had an incredible acting workshop with Peggy Sheffield and Tracy Daniele with Brevard Talent. And they gave me and the attendees there because I was listening in on it. Just a wow moment. I was incredibly just blown away by why that in perpetuity all usage buyout is not a good thing. Like we've always heard it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've always heard that, that's not great, but you know, I kind of blew it off. I'm not going to lie. I blew it off, and who knows what I signed in the past, and hopefully it doesn't come to bite me in the ass, but hopefully you learn from this mistake and you don't sign anything in the future. Like I did not sign something for a job this week because it had those words in it, and it's just not good. So let me give you kind of a backstory on why it's not good, because I don't think you really grasp why. You might, but I was slow on this. I'm just now seeing the, oh, okay, that's why you don't do it. I'm just now seeing that, and how old? I'm not going to tell you, but seriously, get my shit together, right? And I want this for you. So, okay, so say you get an email from somebody saying, oh, I want to book you for this project. We're going to use modeling as an example. Okay, I want you to do this modeling project, and I have this contract that I want you to sign, and it's got, check marks. You got an initial here, here. And you see, I can use your image in perpetuity. And then you see another line that says, I can use your image for stock photos, AI stuff. And right there, you're already thinking, oh, I don't like how this sounds, but I need the extra income, right? Because you probably do. You probably, us actors, us performers, we don't always get the job steady income flow happening all the time. Like there's periods where we have to wait and it's slow, and it's a part of the game. It is what it is. But say you're thinking about it, you're like, dang, I don't want to sign that because I think it's bad. I hear it's bad. The stock images, they kind of scare me, but I need the money. Okay, so pause right there. Pause your thoughts. Now, if I don't sneeze first, I gotta sneeze, but I'm gonna hold it for you. I'm gonna hold it. Challenge accepted. So yeah, just hold that thought and then fast forward to the future. So say you booked this job, you went for it, you signed the deal, you're in like Flynn, as they say. Well, that's not the right in like Flynn that you want to be. So it could be a day from now, it could be a week, it could be a month, a year, 10 years, who knows? But say you signed that contract, you did the shoot, and then your image ends up on the stock photo website, right? And say a company buys your image and they start using it for their promotional stuff. Okay, this is a big company. They are well known and they have a lot of competitors. Okay, let's just say that. So now you start seeing your face, or you get a phone call from somebody and be like, hey, I just saw you on a billboard. You're like, what? That's cool. But it's not cool because, so if you have your image already out there by a company and they're using it for their promotional stuff, and they have every right to, because they bought it, they bought the rights to use your photo on whatever they're doing, because there's no boundaries on that. Once they have it, they have it. Like they can buy a certain license. I think that's how it works, and then they can use it for life. Okay, so say that happens and you got your image out there, and this other company has been following you for quite some time. They're interested in what you're doing. They love your look, your brand, who you are as a person. And they're like, man, I have this project coming up and I really want to use her or him for this. And, oh, wait a second. They're on this billboard with our competitor. we can't do that. So they reach out to you or your agent or whoever it may be, and they ask about that. And you're like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. I signed something, so I you know, it's up there. I didn't know it was going to be up there, but," and then they're like, "Sorry, we can't use you now because that's our competitor, and we can't have a conflict of interest." So now that job that you booked, whenever it was before, that job that you booked is now, it's like tying you down. It is like chaining you to however long they use it, and you don't know how long they're going to use it for. And on top of that, you only got like a one-time check. You don't get any residuals, you don't get any sort of benefits from your image being up there for all the world to see. But now you're missing out on a huge opportunity with an amazing client and somebody who really wanted to work with you, wanted to give you what you're worth and then some. So you could, this is just, I'm just throwing out numbers. There's no set numbers here, but you could have basically, because you are struggling in the struggling, part of your journey in your life, and you needed that money, you probably booked this job for, let's say, $600 if you're lucky. Okay. And that's like, oh boy, $600, right? Because you're in the struggling period. But now you fast forward, this other company maybe wants to hire you for a whole national campaign. Maybe like it's your like huge income that you've been waiting for, this huge big break that you've been waiting for, but you can't take it now because it's the other people are using it already. They bought it from the stock image footage website. So you're kind of screwed because, you can't do anything about it. You already signed that away. And now you lost out on a huge contract, something that would have paid you well. Maybe it's like 600,000. Who knows? I'm just throwing out numbers, right? And then on top of that could be residuals, and you just never know. You never know. So, all in all, the whole point of this gab session is to remind you of why it is not a good idea to sign the in perpetuity. Yes, there are certain circumstances where it's okay to do that. Like, say if you're a voiceover artist, there's certain jobs where it's an internal job. They only use it internally for their company, for their website or whatever. That's a different story. Okay? So there's different things that you have to kind of consider. But when it comes to your image, your voice being used however, wherever, whenever for life, you really need to sit down and think before you sign that thing. Okay? So I just hope that this is a reminder for you, or if you didn't know about this, it is a awakening moment for you, because it's serious. And I don't even know. Yes, I think a lot of companies do know that, and I don't, it's really hard for me to say this because there's no right words, right? Because everybody's different. Every company is different. Some people, I don't think they actually know that this is why it's not good for us performers to sign the in perpetuity, all usage buyouts going on the stock footage websites. I don't think that they understand it. But on the other hand, there are companies who take advantage of us wanting to work and wanting to be a part of something and having our image out there and, sharing beauty to the world, whether it is through an ad campaign for a print job or a commercial, whatever it is. But that's why we have to protect ourselves. That's why we have to be the CEO of our brand and who we are as actors, voice actors, artists in general, period. You are in charge. And especially if you don't have an agent to help you out and help you kind of decipher what you're doing and what you're signing, you need to know this yourself. And I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still trying to get better at how I decipher things and how to respond to clients as to why this isn't a good thing for us, not just me, but other performers in general. And I wouldn't want anybody else to sign this because of this. So I think that the more we educate other people too, the more that they know and the more that they can protect themselves in their future. Because if we don't protect each other, then what is this all about, right? Like, we have to be on the lookout for each other. And that's not just with this contract stuff. This is about, like, with jobs, because I might not be the perfect fit for something. And if a client comes to me and is maybe looking for somebody else to fit a certain role or part, I can be like, yeah, I know somebody. And that's where your friends, the people you network with, they come into play. So I really want you to start thinking about not only protecting yourself as a CEO of you, your company, as an actor, as an artist in general, but also start thinking about your friends in the community. And you all share this same passion, the same drive, and there's work out there for everybody. I really believe that. And you're always perfectly cast no matter what you do. So be super cautious, not only for yourself, but for other people too, right? Like, you wouldn't want somebody to sign something that you wouldn't want to sign, right? Like, at least give them why. Why you might not want to sign that, my friend. Because that way too, if we stick together, then who's not to say that things couldn't change in the future for us? Like, the companies might see why what they're doing isn't a good thing. Like, they might think it is because they're saving money in the future, but overall, it really hurts us. It hurts us in what we do, and we invest a lot of time, energy, and money into our craft, always taking classes and learning new skills and being on the top of our game requires us to invest in ourselves continually. And that's good. That's great. We have to and we should do that. But when we don't really focus on what's best for us, not only right now in the present moment, but in the future, then a part of me asks, well, then why are we doing this? Right? Is it why? Just ask yourself why. Because when you can really get down to the deep heart of it, I think that you can realize that, okay, if this is what you really want to do, it's time to stop treating it like a hobby and go all in on your dreams as it is your career. Because it is. It really is. You're not just an actor. You're not. You are an actor. Like, start owning that shit. Start owning it and be proud of what you are and treat yourself as a business. And that's all I have to say today. And let me know what you think about this. If you enjoyed this little talk about the imperp and all the things, and if it helped you at all, and if it did, please share it with your friends. Somebody might need to hear this or read the blog. There's that too. But whatever you're going through, whatever you're about to sign, just be cautious. That's all I want to say. And with that, I will wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much again for following me here. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, because I hear that helps with the algorithms. I don't know, but I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next time. All right, until then, stay safe, protect yourself, and continue just being awesome.